Welcome back to the show. This is my favorite kind of show where Kevin is going to be in the kitchen teaching me how to cook things because I don't know how to cook.
And it's so darn easy. A lot of the things that we do on here, people think it's more difficult than what it is. And when you talk about making your own pasta, people tend to cringe and go, oh, I'll just go buy the dry stuff at the store. But it's really simple, it's really easy, and it's really healthy. And like with a lot of recipes that we do, there's a lot of different variations. So we're just basically going to do an egg noodle pasta today. The recipe is very, very simple. 1 cup of flour, and we're going to sift that into the bowl. So if you want to do that, through a little strainer there. If you don't have a sifter, you can just use the strainer. I'll take this off. Sorry about that.
Making it nice and easy
and,
for me.
so 1 cup of flour sifted through, 1 egg. And then if you want some flavored pasta or a little bit of color, you can always do a roasted pepper. You can use a red pepper, green pepper. You just cut it, put it in the oven with a little olive oil on it until that skin starts to blister. And then you peel the skin off of that and puree it up, and then you add it into what we're doing right now. So I'll go ahead and crack this egg because this will be the next part of what you're going to add in there. And why do we always crack an egg into a separate container, Maddie?
Oh, I don't do that. I go right into it.
I know, and that's how you get shells. That's why when you go to Maddie's house to eat, sometimes there's a little crunch in there. It's not because it's al dente, it's because there's maybe a little shell in there.
You know, there's nothing better than some cookies and some shells.
So go ahead and add your egg in there. And then at this time, if you had that roasted pepper puree, 1 pepper is all you need, roasted, pureed. You put it in there and you do everything together. So we've got that in. Maddie's going to drop it down.
You mean raise it up?
Kick it on low and just let it go. Probably about 3 to 4 minutes there. But what we've done, we've already got some dough that I made ahead of time.
TV magic dough.
TV magic. So once you get this done, there's a couple different things you do. There's some attachments that you can get for this KitchenAid mixer that do some different pastas. So one is just the roller. So it will roll it and flatten it out. And you kind of want to gradually, if you want something thin, you kind of gradually decrease as you roll it through the layers there, and it'll make it a little bit thinner. And then this is more of a linguine cut pasta. There's also the spaghetti attachments. They've got ravioli attachments. But today, we're going to do a little linguine. It's real easy to do. And I think what we're going to do, and just in the event of time later on, we're going to just roll it out with our rolling pin because that's an easy option to do as well. But you can see once you do the dough mixture, which is what we're doing in there, you give it about 20 minutes in the refrigerator. You want to wrap it up really tight with some saran wrap. That way it doesn't dry out. The last thing you want it to do is to dry. So you've got a nice pliable piece here. You sift some flour down. And again, the reason you sift the flour is to get kind of the bumps and chunks out because you want it to be nice and smooth when you start to play around with it. So
I feel like I'm learning so many fascinating things.
So what we'll do, you've kind of got it there. Give it a couple rolls. And you get it to the thickness that you want. I like it. You like your noodles thick or thin?
Depends on what kind of sauce you put on them.
Oh. What's your favorite sauce?
Marinara sauce.
A marinara. So you like that red stuff.
Yes.
Because again, with pasta, you can kind of do whatever you want with those sauces to whatever your taste is, whatever the family likes. And again, we always talk about doing things with the kids. If you got kids, this is a great kid thing. Have them roll out some of this pasta till you get it about to that thickness that you want. If you don't want to put it in through the flattener to do more of a kind of a lasagna, because you can do a lasagna as you use that flattening tool, make some lasagna. But right there, that kind of gives us that thickness that we're looking for. And again, you can never underdo the amount of flour. This stuff will make sure that it doesn't stick when you run it through. And then once we make the noodles, we'll add some more flour to it. How are we doing over there? Do we need any water?
We might need just a little splash of some water. It's not fully
Like I said, this recipe is typically when you add another ingredient like that pepper, because that's going to add a little bit more moisture to your mixture. But you can start seeing that to dough up. And again, you don't want to have your mixer on a high speed when you're doing this, because all that's going to do is fluff and dry it out. So that's why you keep it low, Let it do its work. It's going to blend everything together.
There we go.
Once you're done, you ball it up, and you're going to kind of hear your mixer
doing its job.
doing
Now,
its
if
job.
you want to make this for a family, let's say you have a family of 4 at home.
Yep.
How many little dough balls like this one would you recommend making to make sure you're making enough pasta to feed everyone?
You know, I like leftovers, so I would do 2.
Okay.
And that also gives you the variation of doing a red pepper and a green pepper, and you got a little bit of color then with it. You can also do the same thing with a little bit of garlic. You can also do it with spinach. So you can cook a little spinach down. It sounds like it's done.
Yeah.
So you can cook a little spinach down and also then puree that up and have a spinach pasta. That's all it is. It's not rocket science. It's not that tough. So perfect. And all you do is you take this out, and this is actually really, really good. You kind of ball it up. You can knead it a little bit, kind of make sure it all mixes up. I know how much you would love to do this because you love that feeling between your fingers of the mushy stuff.
So much so. It's my favorite.
And then with your saran wrap, stick it in there, wrap it up nice and tight, set it in the refrigerator for about 20 minutes. You can do it overnight. I actually prepped this last night, and it turned out really good. So that's kind of where we're at right now. The next step is really easy. It's putting it through the processor. You can remove the bowl, and we'll get that out of the way. We'll put our sheet pan down. Now again, you're going to need a little extra flour to flour up some stuff, and also the attachment that you're going to use. So we'll use, like I said, some linguine. You want to put a little extra flour on that to avoid any sticking as it goes through there.
All right, Kev, well, I think we're at a perfect place to take a break. Take another look at that local weather forecast, maybe look at that lens of the day, and then come back and finish up our beautiful pasta.
Make our noodles.
All right, stay tuned. We'll be back with more Good Morning Vail here shortly.